E aí, DjayJows, como é que os senhores estão? Espero que bem. Lymon aqui, bora para a nossa 37ª parte de Fallout 4. Esse jogo fenomenal. Bom, guys, finalmente chegamos ao tão esperado instituto, né? E não fomos recepcionados por ninguém, só por uma voz, que é o pai, né? Que eu acho que deve ser o líder do instituto. E vamos ver no que vai dar aqui, né? Instituto que tem causado bastante problema pra gente ultimamente, né? Vamos ver aqui o que vai acontecer.
Imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression.
Com certeza tivemos a impressão, e muito errada ainda por cima, hein?
Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Bem lembrado, além de sequestrar o nosso filho também, né? O Shaun, matar a nossa esposa, né? Que o Kellogg que fez essa atrocidade, mas parece que é a mando do instituto, né? Beleza, chegamos em uma sala aqui um pouco quanto estranha. Umas portas aqui. Dá pra gente acessar, beleza. Um garotinho aqui. Shaun. Shaun, será... Ué? Será que é o nosso filho? Vou falar com ele.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean? Is that really you?
Who are you?
Sean, it's me. I'm your dad.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Sean, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
What's going on? Father? Father!
Shh. It'll be okay, Sean. I'm here now.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Who is Father? Where is he?
Father? Father, help me! He's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Father? That's your name? Your title?
Father is my unofficial title. It's what I've come to mean to the people of the Institute, just as you mean to your son, to Sean.
I'll make this very simple. Where is my son?
He's here, in the Institute. Closer than you think. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you after all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
Rapaz, tá ficando muito louco isso daqui, hein?
Oh, come on! That's crazy.
I assure you, I am completely sane and entirely honest. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality, and here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
But why? Why take a child? Why take you?
Ah, now that's the question, isn't it? Why me? At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you.
In a manner of speaking. Yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
And you've been down here the whole time?
I have. Yes. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up?
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Dano colateral infeliz. Foi brutal.
You don't remember. You didn't see it the way I did. It was brutal.
Yes, I'm sure it was. Sadly, the world has become a brutal, unforgiving place. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
But, director? Why you?
I was the most qualified for the position. Obviously. I've lived my life within these walls, dedicated to science like every other member of the Institute. My hard work has paid off. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
He was a murderer. He killed your mother.
Believe me, I am well aware of the atrocities Kellogg committed. I suspect there are many more we'll never know of. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. I know there's more for us to discuss, but the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
Bom, vamos concordar, né?
Yes, that's what I want.
I know. I know you've been through so much. I'm pleased to see it has not impaired your judgment. Forgive me. I'd assumed that after everything I'm sure you've seen above ground, you would be more than a bit biased against us. There is much to be done. You'll need time to acclimate yourself, a chance to become acquainted with our procedures.
Is all that really necessary? What's there to learn?
For now, it is enough that you understand that the Institute really is devoted to the betterment of humanity. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ao in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
Bom, beleza. Eita, e o chão sintético dormiu de pé. E, cara, que descoberta, hein? Então nós finalmente encontramos o verdadeiro Shaw, né? Ele já tá bem velho, inclusive. Bom, beleza, guys. Vamos dar uma conferida aqui no local, né? Pra ver se a gente pode dar aquela leve saqueadinha. Pegar algumas coisas emprestado pra sempre, né? Espero que ele não se chateie. Impec, beleza. Câmera não danificada, lâmpada quebrada, pasta 2. Beleza, guys. Terminal aqui. Mais um Steam Pack, beleza. Mais alguma coisa pra cá. Será que a gente consegue acessar esse terminal? Vamos dar uma conferida aqui agora. Beleza, não conseguimos. Bora dar continuidade aqui então na quest do instituto. Vamos conhecer os líderes do instituto. Já estamos com um dos líderes aqui já.
Hi, Doc.
They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the Facilities Division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
Bom, vamos concordar, né?
Absolutely.
Oh, good to hear. It'll be a load off Sean's mind. Take your time. Get yourself acquainted. There's a lot to take in. Plenty of things you won't find topside. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the Facilities Division, I'm happy to discuss it.
I'm good for now. Thanks.
Goodbye, then. That's the third primary drive breakdown this month.
Beleza.
Phase out on these.
Conhecemos aqui a líder de um dos departamentos aqui do instituto. E agora bora pro segundo líder. Ele tá pra cima. Rapaz, tá parecendo um filme de ficção científica, né, esse lugar. Aqueles laboratório maluco de filme de ficção científica. Estão pra baixo. Bom, o líder mais próximo tá pra cá.
Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office.
Subject identified.
Beleza.
To knock some heads together. Glad you made it. They're dragging their feet on the targeting package upgrades I asked for. Maybe I should take some courses with me. Send a message.
Doc.
So,
Please don't.
here you
There's
are.
enough friction as
Justin
it is
Ayo,
between us
acting
and
director
pretty
of the
much all
Synth
the other
Retention Bureau.
departments.
I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity.
I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
No problems here.
Good to hear. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
I'm sure it's best for everyone if the synths remain here.
Certainly. We can't allow sophisticated Institute technology to fall into the wrong hands. The results could be disastrous. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
I'm no stranger to combat.
Even so, a courser should be more than a match for any single combatant. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
I'm good for now, thanks.
Very well.
Opa, Steam Pack aqui. Uso de sangue, beleza. Deixa eu ver se tem mais alguma coisa aqui que a gente possa... Célula de fusão, perfeito. Jogador, espaçador. Bom que a gente pode pegar tudo aqui do instituto, né? Sem ter problema com ninguém. Uns armários aqui, tem umas coisinhas aqui. Granada. Beleza, pistola do instituto, cela de fusão, bastante munição. Cela de fusão, cartucho .45, beleza. Tampa de garrafa, cela de fusão. Mais tampa de garrafa. Steam Pack, beleza. Dá uma recarregada aqui. E agora bora conhecer o terceiro líder do instituto. Pra cá.
When are you going to tell me about this mysterious phase 3?
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Pra cá.
Rushed work is sloppy at best and deadly at worst.
Excuse me, doctor?
Ah, it's you. You're here then. Yes, I know who you are. We all do. While I'm sure Father is very happy that you're here, I do hope it doesn't interrupt our work.
Don't worry. I promise I won't get in your way.
Thank you, I do appreciate that. Oh, before I forget, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
Thank you. I'm sure that'll come in handy.
Given that the relay is the only way to access the Institute, handy is something of an understatement. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Now, unless there's something else, I really do need to get back to work.
I'm good for now, thanks.
All right.
Beleza. Opa. Umas coisinhas aqui. Célula de fusão, perfeito. Mais célula de fusão. Show de bola, guys. O Instituto tá dando uma reabastecida boa nos nossos... nas nossas armas e nos nossos itens de cura. Aqui tem um bebedouro. Fonte de água. Beleza, dá pra gente recuperar toda a nossa vida aqui. Como é água potável, ela não tem radiação nenhuma. Aí a gente não tem problemas com radiação. Beleza, o quarto e último líder do Instituto.
Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand our operations at Warwick. He's
Doctor.
I wonder how the
Welcome.
Warwick family is
so
doing.
good to have you here.
Young
Dr.
Wally must
Clayton
be close to
Holdren,
10 years old
head
by
of the
now.
Bioscience
It's
Division.
remarkable
I
that any
can't
child
wait for
can
you to see the
survive
work
for
we're
so
doing.
long up there, don't
It's
you think?
truly amazing.
I look forward to learning more about it.
In that case, let me give you a brief overview of what we do here. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of study such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
Gorilas? Será que eles estão fazendo experimentos em animais aqui?
Seems like there's nothing you guys can't do.
With hard work and ingenuity, any challenge can be overcome. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is. But I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
I'm not sure how well I'll fit in, but I'd like to give it a try.
Great. I was hoping you'd say that. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around. Or, if you prefer, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Beleza, completou, conheça os líderes dos departamentos, use o logístico de varredura.
I'm good for now. Thanks.
Take care then.
Beleza. Ah, ó os gorilas ali que ele falou, ó.
Dr. Holdren's Synth Gorilla project is showing promising results.
Gorilas sintéticos. Meu, esses caras são meio doidos, hein? Lugar aqui pra gente acessar. Terminal de entrada do laboratório de destrancar mestre. Ah, não. Isso daqui precisa de recarregamento mestre. Porta corrediça. Tem uns armários aqui. Será que dá pra gente... Aqui do instituto. Steam Pack, importante. Célula de fusão, importante. Beleza. Será que tem mais coisa pra cá? Esse departamento ele é bem grande. Eu acho que ele deve ter bastante coisa pra gente... pegar emprestado pra sempre, né? Opa, o que é isso daqui? Laboratório FEV. Ah, dá pra gente entrar por aqui, ó. A gente não precisa do hackeamento de mestre.
Got it.
Beleza. Vamos ver o que tem nesse laboratório. Opa. Aqui já mudou bem a cara, hein? Do ambiente. Já tem uma armadilha aqui já. Vamos pular ela. Ah, ó. Ia soltar choque aqui, ó. Desarmar. Beleza, célula de fusão. É, aqui já não tá parecendo mais ser um ambiente tão amigável assim, não. Lelê. Pra cima, show. Copo de vidro, o que nós temos aqui? Massa de cigarro. Dá pra gente vender depois. Aqui que aconteceu. Ah, ele fecha a porta. Bom, beleza, vamos deixar a porta aberta. Um pack, bolsa de sangue. Célula de fusão. Bom, aqui dá bastante célula de fusão, né? Bem pra arma que a gente tá usando mesmo. Opa! Beleza, já tomamos um daninho considerável aqui já. Rapaz. Quase morremos, hein? Bom, bora usar aqui o item de cura. Tá com bastante Steam Pack, né? Mas vamos usar... Beleza. Opa. Ai. Dá bastante dano esse... Vamos fazer um salvamento rápido aqui, né? Só pra garantir. Deixa ele terminar de atirar e a gente vai. Valele. Vou usar mais item de cura aqui. Bolsa de sangue, beleza, água purificada. Usar um Hadway. Tirar todo esse nossa radiação. Show de bola. Bom, vamos usar mais um item de cura aqui, né? Tem que aproveitar que a gente tá com bastante Steam Pack. Vamos bem devagar nessa parte aqui. Pra não dar nenhum chabu. Bomba de açúcar. Beleza, não é aqui.
Yes.
Foi. Controle de torreta. Desativar. Será que dá pra gente desativar as outras sobre o sistema de defesa? Diagnóstico de defesa. Ah, era só essas duas torretas aqui mesmo, que era... Opa, não abriu a porta. Será que dá pra gente abrir a porta? Controle remoto da porta. Beleza.
Resetting threat level.
Valele.
Perimeter movement detected.
Detectada no perímetro. Possível unidade furtiva na área de operação.
Scanners detecting
Scanner
sentry.
detectando...
Alert level
Opa,
elevated.
nossa. Vamos pegar o bracinho dele. Nossa, ele vai me desintegrar. Rapaz. Beleza. Célula de fusão, jurei que ele ia me desintegrar. Alumínio, material nuclear. Show. Vamos bem devagar. Pra não dar chabu. Fazer aquele salvamento rápido, né? Pegar aqui o máximo de itens de cura que a gente puder. Beleza. O instituto ele tá parecendo ser bem amigável, né? Até agora. Beleza, dá pra gente acessar essa sala aqui. Show de bola. Tela de fusão. Tampa de garrafa. Uniforme de caçador. Aqui provavelmente era onde os caçadores ficavam, né? Ai. Tá calma nessa hora. Vamos usar o Steam Pack aqui já. Na verdade, vamos usar mais um Steam Pack, beleza. Será que desse lado tem? Tem. Beleza, vamos bem devagar, guys. Sem muito pânico. Carne de destroçador, carne de gato. Tem mais um ali. Vamos bem devagar. Dá pra gente pegar daqui, ó. Acabou a munição. Show. Bora fazer aquele salvamento rápido. Carregar nossa arma. Pular essa armadilha. Desarmar ela, né? Beleza, sala de fusão adicionado. Requer terminal. Ah, é o terminalzinho aqui. Beleza. Controle remoto da porta. Abrir porta, beleza. Controle de torretas. Vamos desativar ela aqui. Show de bola, guys. Rapaz, esse instituto ele tá ficando cada vez mais estranho. Eles fazem experiência com super mutantes aqui também. Terminal, vamos dar uma conferida. Status do paciente. Com rodada de teste concluída. Os resultados estão dentro dos parâmetros esperados. Informei ao Dr. Zimmer diretamente. É, os caras fazem umas coisas muito loucas aqui mesmo, hein? Beleza. Essa era a porta que eu acho que precisava do hackeamento, né? Master. Desativar a grade de laser. Beleza.
Excuse me.
Bom, show de bola, guys. Vamos dar uma conferida aqui no nosso Beep Boy. O Instituto, use o holodisco de varredura de rede. Bom, beleza. Vamos dar uma conferida aqui nesse holodisco. Acho que é inventário, né? ISC. Era disco de varredura de rede, né? Esse daqui. Rede interna detectada. Ué, não foi? Use o holodisco de varredura de rede. Insira o holodisco de varredura de rede no terminal do instituto. Ah, beleza. Vamos... Eu acho que as duas quests elas estão correlacionadas, né? Vamos dar uma conferida. Dá pra subir, né? 49 metros pra cima. Provavelmente é lá a entrada do instituto, né? A gente acionar o elevador. Ah, o elevador já... Oh, não, o elevador tá chegando. Beleza. Rapaz, nunca me senti tanto dentro de um filme de ficção científica quanto nesse jogo aqui. Quer dizer, nesse jogo não, nessa parte aqui, né? Ah, no jogo também. Mas, cara, que loucura, hein? Um laboratório subterrâneo que só tem acesso a partir de teletransporte. Nossa, a gente poderia ter usado os bebedouros, né, pra se curar. Beleza, é aqui mesmo, guys. Terminal de computador. Ver registro de acesso. Sair, carregar o holodisco. Carregar o holodisco. Acabamos. Dado do chip do caçador. Disco de varredura de rede. Iniciar varredura de rede. Beleza. Varredura de rede. Ah, já completou as duas já de uma vez. Boa. Varredura concluída. Opa, completamos no instituto. Quase upamos, hein? Registro de acesso, executar disco, sair, ejetar. Holodisco de varredura. Adicionado. Agora você pode utilizar viagem rápida para partir do instituto. E a partir do instituto. Fale com o pai. Retenção de sintéticos. Beleza, guys. Vamos dar só uma conferida aqui no trabalho interno. Deu o holodisco ao Sturgis. Beleza, a gente tá com o holodisco, né? A gente pode entregar para ele agora. Bom, show de bola, guys. Conhecemos o instituto e já finalizamos a missão aqui de entrada, né? Agora são as missões para o instituto que a gente tem que fazer agora. Beleza? Bom, agradeço pela paciência, valeu, falou e até mais.